If you're looking for a new truck, I highly recommend the F250 TREMOR with the 7.3 liter Godzilla engine in it. And here's why.
You'll have equity in that deal, so whenever that property sells, you will get that original investment back.
Alright guys, this is the beast. This is my new work truck that we bought for the company. It's a 2020 F250 Lariat. Has the TREMOR package. I know it doesn't say TREMOR on the back panel there, but they have done the TREMOR stuff to it. They haven't put the TREMOR right there where they usually do, like with the F4X, but it's got the upgraded suspension and shocks. You can kind of see the TREMOR stuff down there, so pretty cool. Looks even more mean, a little bit higher, but anyway, I got the midnight blue color, and then obviously with the TREMOR package, it's got the you know, the blacked out rims, got the blacked out right there, the F250, everything is got that black trim, and that looks super sharp. I'll do a quick walk around and I'll show you some of the interior stuff. We're kind of doing the vehicle shuffle here. That boy is getting sold to a buddy of mine and my partner Blake. It's been a great truck for us, but it is time to go and be used up in Illinois. Oh, sorry, Indiana. The front grille, really like all the blacked out trim here, real nice. Only downside is all the bugs here in Florida, but we'll just keep that clean. I think these are really cool looking. I don't know, it's just neat. These are the most sturdy running boards I think I've ever seen. They aren't the drop down, which to me, I feel like that's just one more thing to get broken and not work, but that is kind of convenient, but not a big deal. It's super nice. It's actually really good for standing up on, doing construction and the stuff that I do. I got a lot of heavy stuff that I lift, so being able to stand up on that thing with you know, my 225 pound frame plus another 50 to 100 pounds of stuff and not have an issue is pretty awesome. It's got the automatic, or excuse me, the power sliding rear window, which is awesome because I don't know if you can see, this cab is probably close to 7 feet, so trying to reach back, especially while you're driving like my old truck or the older version truck, and try and slide it back is just not happening. It came with this spray in liner, the Rhino liner. I don't know the exact brand of what they use, but it's pretty awesome coming from the plastic stuff. And then obviously down to the back, looks pretty solid. It's got the 7-pin and the 4-pin already in there. I'm gonna have to get a little bit of an adapter. This is a 2-inch, I believe, or maybe even 2.5 inch. Doesn't fit all my other adapters from my old truck. So I think something that's kind of neat is when you're back here, obviously it's not nighttime, but this light here is stupid bright. And another cool thing about the bed of the truck is these lights right here. They can be operated manually, and so you got bed lights. So if you're working at night, and they light this thing up like a Christmas tree back here. Plus you got the rear lights as well, so you can turn them on manually, turn them off manually. They're kind of winding down, and you can turn them on from the truck. There's actually a button you can hit, so that's pretty neat. It's a 6'9" bed, so totally long enough to fit most stuff that won't even go past, because this tailgate here is about an extra 2.5 feet, so nothing hangs off the back, which is kind of nice. Coming up the rear, the left side panel there, tinted. This is super awesome. Super dark in there. It's gonna be nice. And everybody's like, oh, why'd you get a black or a dark truck? And then it's got black. You'll see it's got black leather in there, but it's that tint is pretty awesome. This is cool when you lock it, so the mirrors automatically retract. So one cool thing, if you it's got the remote start, so you hit the lock button, and then double click. Now it is the 7.3 gas, but you heard it, sounds pretty mean even for not a diesel. And for me, $12,000 for the engine and double or more in maintenance and repair cost was not worth the dick measuring factor of having a diesel sound. I know they have towing, you know, capabilities that far exceed a gas too, so I'm being facetious a little bit, but I just don't need it. And this thing could pull, you know, 20,000 plus and be fine. Obviously a little bit reduced gas mileage, but for the local stuff that I do, totally worth it. All right, so this is the interior of the truck. Got the black leather, which is really nice. Actually, it's really smooth. It cools really well. It ventilates really well. To go with the ventilated seats, got heated and cooled seats. I'll show you that in a minute. Just got my new WeatherTech floor mats in yesterday. They just arrived. They are awesome. It's gonna keep my truck so much cleaner. I'll show you the ones in the back in a minute. There's the passenger side. Here's that light I was telling you about. Where is it? Right here for the bed of the truck. Just push that and it turns it on. See back there, kind of neat. And then turn it off from here as well. All right, so let's talk about some interior stuff. I'll go ahead and close the door so it doesn't have to ding at me. But you can see it's pretty nice and dark. There's the rear. I'll show you that in a second, but pretty dark. Anyway, we'll turn this on. It's got the Ford. This is the Sync 4 system in it, which is pretty neat. It's like a spaceship to me. So let me go ahead and start it up again. That way we can work some of the functionality. Here's it starting up. Like I said, we got some Margaritaville going. Got the Gator as a gift from Henry that stays in the truck, so that's pretty neat. A couple different panels here. So we've got the satellite XM radio, so I can go, you know, pretty, and anybody who's got, you know, a vehicle that's a little bit more new knows all this kind of stuff, sports, news, talk, all that. Got the climate control. This I don't really see myself using a whole lot because I can do everything down here on this panel, and it's just so much easier instead of trying to mess with this. It will sync to my phone. I think I got Bluetooth off right now. Calls and things like that. Pretty normal stuff. But the sound quality in this thing is absolutely incredible. It literally sounds like they're sitting right here. And from what I've been told from the people that have talked to me, they said it sounds like I'm sitting right next to them, which is pretty neat. You get text messages and all that stuff. I haven't played around with all the settings in there. Unfortunately, it does disconnect a couple features while you're in motion. I understand that for safety and liability things, but like, come on, man, I'm a helicopter pilot. Like, I need the ability to like turn that shit off, but whatever. Anyway, nav. This thing is awesome. This is neat. You know, it's got the 3D. I'm in 3D right now. You can search stuff. You can type it in, and it's pretty cool because you start like, let's put Walmart. You just put WAL, whatever. See Walmart. It's predictive. It's got that predictive text, which is pretty neat. And then you start it, and there we go. So it'll start taking us there. And then it's got the Sync 4, which unfortunately my current phone, I've got a Samsung Galaxy, kind of a cheaper one that I got with our business plan. But anyway, my wife's phone connects, and you can actually get apps like, there you go. I just got a text from my Uncle Mark, and I can view it, I can hear it, this is available. This is actually perfect. I can hear it. Oh, I didn't do it. I can hear it when I'm driving, and then when I'm parked like I am now, I can actually view it. So I can go phone, I can go text messages. He just texted me, and he was wanting to buy some cigar stuff here. So Uncle Mark, we're talking about you here, so I'm sure he'll see this later, but you can scroll through it. I'm not gonna make you listen to the whole thing there. So on the apps and stuff like that, and then, you know, you could link it. You check fuel prices. It's pretty neat. It's based off your position. Obviously, this was great when we were driving home, because when you're off the highway, as you all know, they gouge you for prices. So I was able to find some stuff that was cheaper. Hey, instead of stopping right here for $3.85 a gallon, I can go a couple miles down the road off the highway and get it for $3.20, right? Still pretty high. let's go Brandon, right? Parking stuff is kind of neat, especially if you're in the city. Traffic list is kind of neat. This was actually awesome on the road. It was really accurate. We were looking at stuff throughout, and we were able to divert a couple times, save us a lot of time. And then obviously it's got a couple other things that you can mess with the settings. I haven't gone all the way through that. I'll do another video probably on that. What I really like about this, okay, so I'm actually wearing our Avengers jersey, right? I'm a coach. I coach soccer, we coach baseball, Katie and I together with the twins, and we're outside a lot. Well, we're on the far eastern side of the central time zone, so what that means is, especially in the fall or early in the spring, sunset is very, very early. A lot of the fields we play on don't have lights. I have a couple work lights, heavy duty, you know, LED lights that we use at our jobs, especially when we're painting and we have all the electricity off, or at least it's taped off. So I can plug those in right here. I've got a 110 volt adapter. This thing has an inverter. It's actually got one right here, right next to the cigarette lighter, and it's got another one, I don't know if you can see it, right there. So pretty cool. And it's obviously got in the rear USB port to the cigarette lighter. So don't really need it though, since you got all these extra adapters. So that is really cool because I can plug that in with the truck off and go to town. All right, so this center console is freaking phenomenal. At first glance, kind of looks like a pretty normal. It's nice, but you know, leather top, which is really comfortable. Couple cup holders in the rear, and it's got a couple cup holders up here, or does it? So what this is cool. This is another cool thing here. This is 2. Now it's 4. How cool is that, right? And these are really good. So these are good for like the bigger, you know, Nalgene's and stuff that the kids use for their sports. This is great for the big, you know, like the big gulp cup. Someone's got the skinny end and they come up, or a coffee mug or something like that. So that's cool. I just found this out today. Maybe I shouldn't give this away because it's going to help the people break it in. But so if you break into my truck, this is a little secret compartment. So this comes out. You're like, oh, okay, that's cool, secret. But wait. So you pull this little thing out, and that's for your key. So you know you can leave your key in this. See the fob in here. You got a little. You can get another key, which I don't have at the time, or you can get do the access from the door. Got the push buttons. Anyway, so this is cool too. This is, you can put stuff up here. You know, you see it's pretty good size. It's a normal size phone, so it holds that. But why would I do that when I've got this bad boy? So this has got a USB and then that kind of universal adapter for iPhones and stuff like that. This right here, and that's what this is for, and the unfortunate part, this is where you hook into the Sync 4. So if you plug in any type of adapter, you know, the USB or the iPhone adapter that plugs into there, and then it's plugged into your phone, it will charge, but it also connects it into your truck so that you can play Spotify, you can get other apps on there. I don't know the extent of what apps actually work with this thing or not. I'll have to look into that, but that's pretty neat. And then obviously it's pretty cool how it closes. Okay, so that's kind of the exterior. Now it's got this button here, you just push that, and this bad boy opens up to a cavernous center console. So this is just it's got your change holder here, got my emergency cigar in case I need it. I guess I could put this here. This slides back and forth, which is cool. Comes out, and I've got, I mean, this is up to my elbow, past my elbow, about 3-4 inches past my elbow. So that's about 16 inches to the bottom of this thing. I have my rechargeable light down here, and it's got another cigarette lighter down here that I can plug things into. Other thing, that just little stuff, a pen holder, 2 pen holders, right? That's pretty cool, right? I do a lot of stuff on the road. I keep contracts with me and stuff like that, so I can keep all that stuff in there. Another cool thing that I think they did, which is really neat, and I think was just, it just adds to it shows the attention to detail. So they literally took somebody and sat them in there like, okay, what are all the things that you would want? Because little stuff like this, and this is throughout the truck, that these little I couldn't figure out what these notches were until I was playing with my phone and I set it down, and guess what? The cord just fell right in there. Well, now I can keep my phone plugged in and the cord isn't all over my dash right here. I don't have to keep this massive thing here. I can just stick my phone in there, let it slide back, and it slides in and out, which is pretty cool. So that's real neat. This is pretty cool. Check the mirrors out. Oop, wrong button. Sorry. that's to adjust it. Here's the mirror button. So for towing, right, it's a heavy duty, right? So I can extend those out. I can bring them in. This is doing it on the other side as well, so you can see that. You can see, so look at the difference in the interior of this vehicle when I bring this window down. And it's overcast outside. We're getting some rain here soon, so pretty awesome. And the thing just, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's a truck, it should be loud. I like it quiet in here so I can make calls and things like that. And this truck is super quiet. I've already almost put 1,000 miles on this bad boy, and I've only had it for about a week, so it's getting its use. This right here is pretty badass. I can, you know, have the different views and all that stuff. But let's start from here. You know, you can kind of, this is what I want to view. So I select it, you know, it just shows your typical trip stuff. You can see 13 miles a gallon. I've been running around town in some traffic, so it's been lower. It's about 14 and a half to 15 miles a gallon, you know, which isn't the most efficient thing ever, but my other truck was about the same, 13 miles a gallon. So I can just cycle down by typing this down button here, up or down. All right, these are different views. So that's for the Tremor package. So you can do your off-road stuff. It shows you your pitch, and I'm actually on my driveway facing downhill, so that makes sense. You can see the direction of the wheel. So if you're doing off-road stuff, you can see which way it's turning, how many degrees, and then you can see the roll, you know, the roll over here left to right, which is that one. Pretty neat. Different trips here. So that's my, you know, trip 1. I can set trip 2. I can reset it. I really don't need it, so that'll just reset it by holding the button on the screen here, or on my wheel. My fuel economy, fuel history, compass if I just want to use that for getting lost. I am a Cobra pilot, so, you know. Truck info, this is pretty cool. Just check it on the fly. Tire pressure is a little bit low, but we just had the temperature change, and I haven't been driving either, so that pressure is a little bit lower. I can see the engine hours, like looking at a boat, man. This is like the Yamaha health monitoring system, which is pretty neat. Transmission temp, oil life. I can look at the tire pressure monitor, all that kind of stuff. Towing, this is pretty neat. I don't have anything hooked up, but if you have stuff hooked up, it'll do stuff like checking the towing status, right? So you can see that right there, that gain, that is adjusted down here. That's for if you have a brake trailer, when it has a brake, its own braking system on it, so you can up or down it. So how you don't, you know, obviously you don't want it over braking when you're driving, because then it's going to, pull back on your truck, right? And you don't want it too light, obviously, because then your truck brakes are doing a lot more of the work than they should. So you can play with that, and then it also shows you, kind of the angle of your truck and stuff. So you can look at the trailer mileage, which is kind of neat. The guy that had it before me probably towed a trailer a little bit. It says blind spot with trailer ready, so that's good. So that means I've got these little, you probably can't see them, but they're right about there. Those light up when my truck, when somebody comes up along the bumper, rear bumper of my truck. But it also will do it, it'll know when you're towing a trailer, and it'll actually notify you when they're up against your trailer, which is pretty neat. You can do a trailer light check. So you hit it, and right here, and it'll light up the different things for you, flashers, so you don't have to sit there and go back and forth. You can do it on your own. Normally you have to come up, hit the button, then put the turn signal on, and the other one, and somebody has to stand on the brake, and you have to like see it flashing against your garage or whatever. This does that for you. And then it's actually got a checklist, and you can go through here and see all the different things, for a gooseneck or a fifth wheel, all that kind of stuff, which is pretty neat. And then this, obviously, if you're gonna go off-road, not really my thing. And then blind spot, you can turn these on or off. So it's got cross traffic alert, which actually was pretty cool when we were parked in Fort Myers, and we were right off of a busy road, and these little tiny, it's just people's old houses that were converted into restaurants. And so I was trying to back out, and it's 35 miles an hour, and it was giving me, it was tight, and I had this big monster truck in a little tiny parking lot, and it would tell me and give me indication of somebody coming. And I think it goes from 3 miles an hour to up to 35 or 40 miles an hour. It's used ideally for like parking lots. So when you back out of a parking lot, it can see somebody coming so you don't get hit, or a person coming so you don't run somebody over. The driver alert, the rear park aid, that's the beep, 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 beep. As you get closer, that's, when you're doing this thing here. So if I throw this bad boy in, pardon my garage, but it's got, the typical, it starts beeping around yellow, and then it starts really beeping at red, and then starts going, solid right there. So it's also got the truck overhead view. It's not the super fancy one where you actually see your truck in time and space, but it works pretty good. It's got the different zones, so you can see if you're backing into something and stuff like that. But these mirrors, these The secondary lower mirrors are super helpful for backing up. I really don't even hardly use it because I've just been so used to not having a camera all these years. So the pre-collision, that happened to me yesterday. It actually, or maybe it was 2 days ago. That works. It actually starts braking if you have it set up right. And it's not gonna, you still have to be driving. Like, it's not like a, you know, a Tesla or something. I braked early before it went off. Like, I saw it was basically somebody, you know, slamming the brakes unnecessarily, and we started kind of closing a little bit, and I was braking, but it didn't think I was braking fast enough. I was already on the process of braking. It just gave me a warning, but if I hadn't pushed down more, which I already was, it would have started applying the brakes for me. And there's like a sensitivity, you can put light, medium, or high type of thing as far as how much you want it to do, which is pretty neat. It's got the lane keeping system. These little lines right here, if you don't turn your turn signal on, I don't know if you can see them a little dotted, and you start crossing over to the next lane with, you know, either intentionally or inadvertently, the wheel will and it'll do it 3 times. You can set that intensity as well. It's really neat. And one more thing is this button, the drive mode up here. Normally this is like your overdrive in most vehicles, and that's about all it does. So you hit this button here, and I'm in eco right now because I'm driving around town. You can set it for, that's slippery, deep snow and sand, so especially if you're up north or you're doing stuff in the desert. Like, it's gonna talk about using 4-wheel drive and stuff. It even says, I don't know if you saw that. So watch this, 4x4 recommended. It doesn't say what level, but then you go to rock crawl, 4x4 low, right? That obviously makes sense. So you can do rock crawling in this if you want. Got normal, tow, and eco. So this is gonna be like more if you're on the highway, and then the other mode is gonna be more like you're in town, constant stops and goes. It's gonna allow you to have that little bit better acceleration, is what I've been told, versus the eco mode, which is when you're on the highway going 70, 80 miles an hour. And you know, you're not doing constant accelerations or stops and stuff like that. You just go hit cruise control and go. It's gonna be the most efficient. So that's the inside of the front. Actually, one more thing. So this right here is pretty neat. I don't know if you can see it moving, but it's got lumbar support, which for an old helicopter pilot with a bad back and hip, that's really nice to have. So I use that every day. All right, little compartments here. Little side compartments here is pretty neat. Actually, one other thing I like on the interior is, so I got the glove box, which is pretty spacious. You got this Super Duty extra compartment there, so you put your smoke wagon or whatever you want up there. It's pretty neat. Still got to detail the inside a little bit, but so this back here, I talked about just the ingenuity of these vehicles, and this is pretty awesome. I got this little lever here. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, so the seat flips up. That's pretty cool because I'm used to them flipping down on my 150. But then you got this awesome piece of gear right here. So this is the lay flat cargo system, and it's got a lock here. You can lock that. So what that is this is, I don't know, it's maybe about 10 inches tall, but you can put stuff like tool bags. You know, I have my tool bag and I took it out for the video. I got my tie down straps. You can put whatever you want back here and it won't roll around. And as you saw, you can see over there, it's underneath the seat. So it's not in the way, like it won't roll around. You can put, you know, whatever you want, food, water bottles, whatever you need, spare stuff, you know, kind of your emergency kit. What's cool about this, so it's got this system right here. You put this lever down, that kind of collapses a little bit. You unlock this, and then you put this whole thing, it has the other seat, so it's normally a little easier, but you roll this down and you can lock this back in, and that thing lays flat. And this thing is like huge. I mean, that's 3 feet across maybe. So you can put big boxes in here. You can put, you know, whatever you want. I go to Home Depot and I got, you know, a cabinet or whatever. Maybe it's raining out. I can throw it in here that I don't want it out in the rain, or that I just run out of space in the back from lumber or whatever. So I think that is a really cool feature. This rolls down. Nothing fancy here, but super nice, high quality leather, and a couple cup holders. So this thing has essentially 8 cup holders that you can use, which is pretty awesome for a truck. It's more like a minivan. And then here's that rear sliding power window. I forgot to show you this. The WeatherTech floor mats, I highly recommend, if you have a truck or any vehicle that's going to be getting a lot of use, a lot of traffic, and you know, probably like dirty traffic, like, you know, me working around construction sites, having boots on and dirty clothes. I mean, the ability to take these things out, wash them off, throw them right back in there is incredible. And especially down here in Florida with, you know, all the sand and get the sun out of the background, with all the sand and dirt and stuff like that, it's just nice to keep your floors real clean. So, well, that's the truck. Love this thing. It is going to be an awesome work vehicle for us. It's going to be an actual asset. I normally would call a vehicle liability, because it continually loses value. And while I don't think that the economy is going to continue to go up and up and up forever, and even though it is, it's kind of artificially inflated and propped up, so that's a whole different ball wax. But being able to take this vehicle and write off the entire $75,000 of it in year one against my taxes for this year, and essentially save me $25,000, which I just did a video on that I'll link in here, and how I saved $25,000 on my taxes by buying a truck. So if I essentially saved myself from paying Uncle Sam $25,000, that's essentially like getting this thing for $50,000, which is still an expensive truck. But at day one, that puts me already $25,000 below what I bought it for, and I bought this thing for about $10,000 less than it's worth, because, like I told you before, there is no tremor written here, but as you can see, the F250 heavy duty only has 3 leaf springs. So the tremor package, it's indicative by these extra 2 leaf springs. These are the shocks, the upgraded shocks, the tremor ones. I don't know if you can see it up here a little bit better, but you can actually see the trem part, right? If you can see that, yep, so that's the tremor, right? And obviously the spring coils are pretty robust. But anyway, I was able to save a lot of money by buying this thing, and you know, it looks good too. So I've had the same vehicle for 15 years. This is going to last me another 15 years. It doesn't mean I won't buy other vehicles in that time to do exactly what I did this year and depreciate, but there is no reason why this truck won't be with me for a long time, and I'm pretty excited about it. So thanks for watching this. I hope you guys liked it. If you got any questions about things I liked, didn't like, I'm going to continue driving this. Like I said, I've only got about 1,000 miles on it. I'm still learning stuff from it. I haven't towed anything heavy yet. I'll probably do a video on that. I wouldn't call that boat right there, that 19-foot bay boat, very heavy, but I'm going to be towing that later this week on a fishing trip, and hopefully get some good video there. But this bad boy is going to tow it down, and I'll let you know how that works. But if you got any questions about the truck itself, or about how I use section 179 of the IRS code to write this whole $75,000 off and save myself $25,000 in taxes this year, go ahead and comment below, hit me up, and I'd be happy to show you the ways, or just check the video out, and again, comment, hit me up below, and I'll be happy to reach out and explain anything that wasn't clear. So appreciate it, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and until next time, here's to your wealth.